Welcome in, Kuma Crew. I am, as always, Annakuma, and today I'm trying out Crystal Gaiden Origins demo thanks to a nudge by Onipunk Studio on Keymailer. I'm also very late on this one because so many things happened all at once, as they always do, and the game is actually now out since of the 8th of August, but I thought I'd still talk about the demo, seeing they did ask me to look at it, and I did say I would. I'm just late, as always. Oops, I'm sorry. Crystal Gaiden Origins is actually a pretty different game to what I usually look at. It isn't because I don't play 2D platformers. I grew up as a Sega kid, with the majority of my youngest memories being one of the best platforms for games like that. The Sega Mega Drive, or Genesis if you want to be wrong about it. I loved my 8-bit get good platformers like any other nerdy child in the 90s did, so I genuinely was interested in this demo. So thank you Onipunks for asking me to play the demo, and I'm sorry I reviewed it weeks after the full game actually managed to release, but I hope it's going well for you. There is a story to Crystal Gaiden, much like any old arcade game. It happens in a lovely little cutscene to start the game, showing off some of the very nostalgic artwork. If anything, the text is a little too fast for me, but it gives a very brief motivation for what you are doing. For the demo, you get the first 2 areas, which consist of 3 levels each, 2 action stages, and then a boss fight. Nothing in the game so far is actually really that difficult. Then again, I played on the easier modes because I know I suck at this kind of game as well. It has a few different difficulty options to change, which is a nice touch. Each basic enemy goes down in 1 or 2 shots. The bosses were pretty easy to work out the rhythm to, and in all, it took me under 20 minutes to complete the levels, and I died mainly to scenery more than anything else. Especially in this level. You have a main melee weapon and then a sub-weapon. Both can be changed with upgrades that come in these drop tanks. These also give you extra lives and health from time to time as well. There are a wide variety to choose from, but I found the game was moving too fast for me to really look at them. That's the kind of gamer I am, that's how I play these games in general. It's not really a criticism, that's just how I play. I do the same in other games. I always tend to just go with the flow and use whatever I have in my hand at the time, usually leaving me in situations where I can't beat things easily, but this game was okay for it. Going into the first boss, it does give you basically the sub-weapon to easily get rid of him. This overhead lobbing throw that you get just before you enter the door. At that point, you really are just timing his jump to the middle to get out of his way. I kind of like this because even if they don't do it at any other point in the game, it is a good way to make you aware that sometimes you might want to look for the sub-weapon that will help you in any given situation. For what they were trying to go for, and based off the games they were inspired by, this is a really solid attempt to create an arcade action game. Its movement is crisp, there is decent input reactions, and you feel very in control of your character. I did have problems detecting just how close the melee attack actually was at times, but that was more a me thing because I'm just bad at games. You also get a nice slide, which just feels good to do. I love this slide. Honestly, I really like the different levels we saw as well. This is where the strength was for me, the art style and using the environments they have. The majority of the action levels are as simple as run to the right while shooting things that get in your way. You know, typical game. The difficulty of jumps in the area you're in slowly increases as you go on, as they should. At first you're just running and jumping, then there are mines and disappearing platforms to be wary of. Enemies can shoot through land and will be placed all over the place, meaning you have to be more careful of what you're doing and watching their attacks. Then you get the one odd level out, where you are on this bike. It was interesting to add something different in, and it worked overall, I think. It was the first place that taught you that the world around you was going to try to hurt you as well, but that I kind of disliked a little, being on that level. With just the way the game is, it was hard to tell at first that I was being hurt. Again, this could be a me thing more than anything else. I did wonder to myself my first run of the map whether or not the broken looking bridges were gonna hurt, but couldn't really tell and was too busy getting ready for actual enemies that I depleted my health quite a bit and ended up dying to the crystals after the mini boss. The second time around was when I 100% confirmed it and then died very fast. Honestly, it was an interesting addition to the game and kind of needed for the pacing of the demo. It gave you something else, took away control of movement from you, and turned into something you had to really concentrate on. You were no longer moving how you wanted to. You had to make blind leaps of faith, hoping to get over the broken crystal bridges. It taught you to be more careful, but mainly it taught you that this is a game you'd have to learn. Some enemies were impossible to attack until they moved in front of you. These enemies would have patterns to them you'd have to figure out to keep safe. Also, if you tried to cheese it and stay safe by staying to the far left, things would still hit you off screen like these falling bombs. This level was the one level that taught you that you would not be safe no matter what you tried, so just learn how to beat the levels. The bike level was my second favorite, but my first favorite was the one that actually came next. Level 2.2 was very much the environmental hazard level. It gave you crystals all over the place to learn how to use the jumps correctly, get you used to the slide mechanic as well, and had enemies popping up all over the place to hurt you. It also had one of those if you fall you have to eat damage or die pits, which I'm not a fan of personally, but they really are just part of this kind of genre. So you just have to either be really good at timing jumps with enemies in your face, or hope you can tank some damage real good, which I kind of did. Whilst I didn't like the enemies can fire through the environment, and I'm not sure we can, I'm pretty sure one of my bombs went off when it hit the side of the same thing someone was shooting through. I did like that they also die whilst touching the crystals, because it would be horrible if they didn't. Gameplay-wise, if you like any of the old shoot-and-run games, any 8-bit arcade coin fodder game, or just 2D platforms in general that were really popular on consoles back in the early to mid-90s, you'll love this. So far, it doesn't do anything different or new. It isn't creatively inspired, but this was 2 levels of a demo, and what it did do was bring back the fun of games that I grew up playing. It held its inspirations on its sleeve, but it did deliver its own experience as well. It wasn't just a clone or a copy, it was a good solid game with some interesting mechanics going on. Why I really 100% recommend this though is the art style. I love this kind of 8-bit style. I loved it as a kid and I love it now as an adult. Some of the backgrounds in this game are amazing. The sprite work on the characters look gorgeous and the animations as we attack are so well done. They use some great colors to make everything stand out well. The backgrounds don't make it hard to see what is going on in the action, and the attacks are bright and colorful so they stand out well. You can either have a CRT filter or play without it on. I played with the filter because I love CRT filters done right, and this one was really well designed. It did take a second to get used to it, but as I started to play, I really did get used to it. I love CRT filters, but they're not for anyone, and you can toggle them on and off in-game as well. Not just that, but the sound design is fantastic. When I was picking my language, which is the first thing you do, I did love the beeping on the options, which was such a nostalgic sound, I instantly just fell in love with it. It has a lovely little soundtrack that doesn't get boring, and the attack beeps and boops just worked. If I didn't know this game came out in 2025, I would happily believe you that it was a game from my childhood. It feels good to play, nostalgia hits hard, and it feels like it'll be a fair yet challenging game to get into. If you like the looks of it, then you can find the link to the full game in the description below. It is out as of the beginning of August, but the demo still looks to be up if you want to try it out first. That is all I have time for today though. If you'd like to continue to support this bear here, then please feel free to like the video, comment below on your favorite 8-bit action game, and subscribe. Also give me a follow over at twitch.tv/Annakuma, where I play games 5 days a week and might pick this up to play at some point. I will for sure be playing it at some point, so I don't know why I'm saying that because I'm definitely going to play it, probably on stream, at least once. Go follow me, go wishlist the game, do the good things. Till next time though, thanks for watching, and bye bye.